Joining me now in the studio is Philip Turle, our International Affairs Editor. Philip, the gap is now closing, as we just see there, between Macron and Le Pen. How do you explain this?
I think there are a number of factors you can bring in here to explain what's going on. First of all, if we look at Marine Le Pen, who is running in her third presidential election this time round, this is really a make or break time for Marine Le Pen, because it's pretty difficult for her to envisage running a fourth time if she doesn't get through this time round. When she first launched her presidential bid, she was running pretty high in the opinion polls as a suitable alternative to Emmanuel Macron. So back in October, she was on about 19%. Then she slipped in January down to 16.5%. Why was that? Because that was following the announcement by Eric Zemmour, a former TV pundit, that he was also going to run in the election, and he was taking away some of her voters and some of her prime supporters, some of her leading members of her party jumped ship and joined forces with Eric Zemmour. So she saw her support fall, but now he has seen his support fall since then, and she's now reboosted her chances of making it through to the second round. As far as Emmanuel Macron is concerned, he started off high, or started off low rather, because a lot of people are wondering whether or not they want a second round, a second term in office with Emmanuel Macron. But when the war broke out in Ukraine, he then bolstered his chances by becoming someone with much more of a presidential stature as a war leader or leader through this crisis. But that has fallen a bit by the wayside as other scandals have come to light, and people are now beginning to wonder again if they want Emmanuel Macron to be back as president for a second term. Now,
if Le Pen does make it through to the second round, what are her chances of actually winning?
Still pretty low, I think. The gap, as you said, is certainly closing, but Marine Le Pen has a big problem, which is called this crystal ceiling, which is like a limit to the amount of support she can actually get. And if you look at her programme, it is pretty much a far-right programme, like it always has been, even since her father was running the former National Front that she took over 10 years ago and renamed the National Rally. So she's now on 47.5% to 52.5%. That gap has certainly closed in over the last few weeks. But Emmanuel Macron is still, at the moment, the one who seems more or less destined to win a second term in office. But I think he has got a certain case of the jitters, as we've seen with his fight back and these remarks against her that he made yesterday. He has another meeting coming up this weekend. We'll see whether that will affect the polls between now and the first round of voting on the 10th of June.
Thank you, Philip.